Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset, hosted by Deborah and Moira. This podcast is designed to help listeners unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally, so they can thrive, not just survive. Deborah and Moira explore how natural tendencies don't always serve individuals and provide insights on how to harness existing strengths. Their goal is to equip listeners with the habits, mindset shifts, and strategies needed for lasting, meaningful change. Finding purpose and fulfillment can be challenging, but this podcast offers expert conversations, practical advice, and valuable tools to help align with a true sense of purpose and create a more fulfilling life. So grab a notebook, open your notes app, and get ready to take in some game-changing insights. Let's dive in.
Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Hi.
Hello, my dear. Here we are with another one of our Deliciously Motivated Mindset podcast conversations. And this is going to be very interesting, this one. Well, they all are. I mean, gosh, we wouldn't talk about them or do them if they weren't.
This is a
Let's see where this one goes. Listeners, we're going to talk about techniques for the chronic perfectionist. OMG. So take a nice deep breath. Let's just land here. Let's just set the stage for this, unpacking these ideas. I encourage you, if you can, if it feels comfortable, to put one or both hands over your heart space. Take a nice deep breath. Feel yourself supported by this, whatever you're standing or sitting on, landing here. Feeling your belly inflate and deflate with those deep, deep breaths. Let's do 3 of these together. Breathing in, feeling your hands expand at your chest. And breathing out, sighing it out through your mouth. Breathing in through your nose. Letting it out through your mouth. Intending that you're breathing in and out of your heart space. Take another nice deep breath in. And breathe out. Allow your breathing to find its natural rhythm. Nice, deep, nurturing breaths. Full breaths. Full breath in and full breath out. And allow yourself to feel like you're connecting with my energy, connecting with Deb's energy, connecting with everybody's energy around this beautiful planet, and with everybody who's listening to this episode. Techniques for the chronic perfectionist. Let's see if we can shift some of this and let some of this go, because chronic perfectionism is not a very healthy thing. It can be very energy draining. So that's why it's important to do the heart coherent thing first before we start going into this. So we encourage you to grab a note-taking device, because we want to help you, if you are a wee bit of a perfectionist, we want to help you release that.
Well, I was thinking, even when as you were talking about this, techniques for the chronic perfectionist, I was going to say it's a heart coherence to start, but actually it's reminding yourself you're human.
Yes.
Which is a little bit of the heart coherent, just a little bit, but it's actually reminding yourself you're human with human emotions here in this human world, having a human experience. Well, I don't know any other experience to have, but I want to make that one clear. But from that's exactly it. You are human. You are human here, having this human experience, and remembering that, I think that's a fact. Like that's an absolute fact here that makes sense. You makes sense. I'm just like blowing my own trumpet. I feel like I'm blowing my own trumpet, but you're human.
You're human.
You know, when things don't go wrong, acknowledge it. When things go right, acknowledge it. Just know that, distractions come in and all of those things. Just know that you're human.
So right off the bat, tip number 2, I'm going to bring in the 4 agreements.
Oh, sorry.
I knew
Yes,
you
you're
would react like that.
You're human and you got 4 agreements. Yes.
Yes, you're human, and you be impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
You don't take things personally, you don't make assumptions, and you always do your best. So those last two, the don't make assumptions, the chronic perfectionist is assuming, oh, I have to do just this one more piece, or I have to tweak it this little bit more, or I have to do just that bit more. And then always do your best. Well, when you're firing on all cylinders, your version of, and I'm putting quotations around this, your version of perfection is going to be very different to on a day where you're not firing on all cylinders. But it doesn't mean that you have to stop or block the creative flow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think, yeah, and it goes back, you're human.
You're human. Yeah.
You're human.
But to me, those four agreements make the human experience that more
Pristine,
juicy,
clear,
tangible, realistic.
real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gives you clarity. It gives you
we,
clarity. I know we've got
we've
these.
both got our fingers up pointing to go, a bit of that. Certainty. It gives you certainty.
Just clarity and certainty.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
maybe even curiosity. There, see, three C's.
Yeah, the sea.
Clarity, certainty, and curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna write that one down. Yeah. Um, I love curiosity. I
Me
do love
too.
that. Just brings in a whole nother level. When I think about your techniques for chronic perfectionism, um, we've done this before. We have set the bar so high, you literally feel like you're never going to achieve it. Before
Yeah.
you set it so high, you're like, I'm going to do it by this time. I'm going to do it by this way. I'm going to get this standard, whatever. And you've already, I'm going to use the word failed because that seems to be a common word for people, but it's not a word that I use in my vocab. But you've already failed before you've started. And
Yeah.
I think remembering that sort of stuff. So when I go back to that, what is that? What do you want to get this done? And ensure that you're focusing on your progress over your perfectionism, and set realistic timeframes to get this done.
Yeah.
And just acknowledge, at the end of it, once you've written that down and set that down, put your hand on your heart and go, does this feel like it's a real achievement?
Yeah.
Does
Is
this
it realistic?
yeah, does it feel in my body it's realistic? Because if it is, yes, and if it's not, be okay with moving it again.
Yeah.
I think that's that. Yeah, for when I go into my perfectionism, I'm like, okay, let's have a look. Did I set myself up for failure already
Mhm.
by saying I'm going to do everything and there's no way I'm going to get that done? Like, let's just be realistic. Have I got the right time? So look at yourself before you even start doing the task, because the task is already started from the moment it got landed in your brain. By
Yeah.
the way, it's not actually when you start taking action, because the moment it got landed in your brain, it's already starting to take action anyway. You're thinking about it, you're pondering about it. But just make sure that they are, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep your standards real.
I like that. And I think that's a really important one. And I'm putting as a separate one, but it's actually kind of connected to that, is to be in flow with what is occurring, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm thinking about what you're just saying about if you set a bar, okay, I'm going to get this project done by the end of today. And then let's say, actually, this has happened to me just recently. A client messages you in complete meltdown mode. I need help. I need Moira time, like right now.
Yeah.
But that's going to then push out that expectation. So that's why I'm saying be in flow. So you can set this is what is going to happen in this time. Actually, there's quite a few things that's just happened over the last week. It was like I set something up and then I get to that day and then it's like, oh, my energy's not invested in this. I'm not in flow. So therefore it's being shifted. So that's why I'm saying about being in flow, being flexible. So we can set these ideas about perfection or and achievement,
Yeah.
but we can't be rigid. So releasing rigidity, right?
Yeah.
Does
Well,
that make sense?
yeah, totally. When I was thinking, I actually wrote down your PEMS again. You know, your
Mm,
physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, which actually I'm now going to put that into I'm actually going to put that as a separate tip.
it needs to be a separate one, yeah.
Yeah, because I would have thought that was going to come with going and being flow, but you had the beautifulness of actually going, you know what, I don't feel like doing this.
Yeah,
Like the other night, I was the same. I was like, today I'm going to write a mailer for my people.
yeah.
Mailer, get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done. And then at 8:30 at night, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't get that mailer done. Okay, I'm going to do it now. And I sat down and I went, I'm not going to write a mailer to people at 8:30 at night. That's
No.
No, I want that. I really want that email, and we're now 3 days on. I forgot about
Because
it.
it keeps getting bumped.
Well, it's my perfectionist is actually didn't even put it on my list. It was just in my
Oops.
um yeah, whoops. But my energy was like, I'm not going to write that this time of night. It's not going to feel
Yeah.
right. And then I'm going to have to put it through Chat GPT to make sure it sounds right because my words are going to be discombobulated. And I'm like, and that's not me. So
No.
Deborah, it's not happening like that. So I think that's it. That physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Check in where you're at
Mm,
and be okay. When you talk about that, be in flow. Um, check in. Does this actually feel like I want to do this right now?
yeah.
Like, no, I feel a little bit off. I'm tired, or.
Yeah, because I'm adding to that you do your PEMS check and you tell yourself the truth,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
You
Yeah.
just kind of come, no, and then be okay with it. Because you see, I'm
Well,
thinking
that's
about
the
the
other thing.
chronic
Be okay.
perfectionism of saying nonsense, toughen up. Like,
Yeah, drink some concrete and get through. Yeah, or you can
yeah,
read a mailer at 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, sure. On a Sunday night, write a mailer. That'll be a fun one to read.
yeah.
You know,
Zip
it's
up
going
your boots and get this show on the
to.
road.
And how long will that take to get that perfectionist going?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And I think when you honor yourself, well, actually, I'm not going to say I think. When you honor yourself, you get rewarded.
Hmm.
Because if I had done that mailer at that night by doing that, the same for you, if you'd done that stuff,
Yeah.
there would have been a sting that would have come on to you. But knowing that my next mailer, by crikey, people, you better appreciate my next mailer. Just gonna say,
P.S.
yes, when I send it out, that is, by the way, which I completely forgot I had it on my list. Okay. um, but having that, telling yourself the truth that okay,
Yeah.
yep, now's the time I can do this. And you just get, I don't know, you just get rewards, like people keep away from you while you can have that time to do it, or it just feels right. It feels like you're being rewarded for honoring yourself and making that, just putting yourself first. I guess it is.
100%. And this is actually a story that I've shared with you before, about my own realization in this, about the when you honor yourself. So when I was really, really sick, I still operated at the same level that I was operating at.
Yeah.
I used to do lots of bookkeeping for clients.
I'm
And
shaking my head in disbelief, but I'm not. And no, it's not in disbelief. It's like, I know, I know, I know.
And so the thing is when I learned that if I was that exhausted, that giving myself permission to go for a nap, even if it was just a 20-minute nap, I would then come back feeling refreshed. And you know what was really, it was this pivot that happened for me, was that I was actually getting more stuff done than I had originally said I needed to get done in that day.
The reward.
Yes, there's the reward.
My hands go up like,
Yeah.
yes, yes, here's the story. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. But you do.
Hmm.
They say give your work to a busy person and it gets done. But it does get done at a higher level sometimes because they're in that groove. But it's honoring yourself. So maybe that's actually a whole technique on your own. You know, I'm talking about your PEMS, but actually honoring yourself.
Oh, I
You,
was
you
putting it, yeah, I did put that as a separate
know,
tip. Honoring yourself. No, I like what you said though. Honor yourself and you get rewarded. And it can sometimes be um, very, like it doesn't come necessarily. It's not like you're going to get a trophy, right? Right?
no,
But
no,
but
no.
like I said, in my example was that I got so much more done and I felt accomplished and I felt rested.
Mm,
Right? And so that's why it's such an important piece, is that you and I've talked about this before, is that we walk our talk. And
Yeah.
walking our talk means if I say, yep, I'm going to write this article today, and then I come to sit and do it, and my energy's off, I can't write that article, because to me,
Yeah.
the energy is going to get stamped into that project.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into this chronic perfectionism, say, oh, well, nope, you said you're going to do it, so you better do it. Because that's just an old paradigm that's created so many burnouts, right?
Yeah, yes, 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 yes. And perfectionism, just for the record, people, perfectionism is just a word.
Mm.
You have to attach yourself to that word. You can reframe it. I don't know if I should reframe it too. That just came out, but you can just change that. Chronic perfectionism techniques. Yeah, I'm not going to think about a new word for that. But oh, I'm a perfectionist. No, we're all perfectionists in what's important to us. Just for the record, we've all got it. But listening to these techniques we've got.
But wouldn't you say that perfectionism, perfectionism can sometimes delay a person saying, here is my product, or here's my yeah, let's just say product. Here's my product, here's my book. I've written a book. And but sometimes for people who get really stuck in this chronic perfectionism, they never launch.
Well, I was just gonna, it's indecisive. You actually have to be certain. You
Yeah.
Because indecisiveness freezes you in the tracks. Oh, I don't know if this is going to land for people. If people can really go, you've got to be certain about what you're launching, what you're going to say. We did a talk last week about
Yeah, we did.
certainty. Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you didn't listen to that, jump back and listen to that one. But that's it. You've got to be certain about what you want to. Is this good enough for other people? Da da da. But also not overthinking. I'm designing this particular thing for everyone else. Is it right? No, it's not going to land for a 10-year-old. I need to tweak. But it's do I have certainty in what I'm delivering here? Because the perfectionist is actually telling you you don't have certainty.
Right.
I'm going to throw
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. Because I've recently been involved with a really good friend of mine who has this amazing project. But rather than sit and wait and get all the modules created and all the different exercises created, she runs a beta on it and said, come in, do this with me. So
Yeah.
she's not getting, and so some things work, and some things will don't work. And it's kind of like, oh, that doesn't work. So that's not going to be in the final product.
That's
But it's
that's
it's the
that
creation of it,
that's not being afraid of.
of
That's a
saying it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I think
Yeah.
that's a thing. It's got to work. It's got to work. I've invested $1 million into it. It's got to work. Well,
Yes.
actually, it may not work. So stop thinking about what you invested and just yeah. I love that beta testing. How do you pronounce it?
Beta.
Yeah,
Beta
beta.
testing.
That was like it's your accent. It's your accent.
It's my
But I think
accent.
that's the other thing is you've got to have certainty in what you're delivering, but certainty for you, whether that's just a voice or delivering something or saying something or whatever that perfectionist is, but you have to have certainty in that.
Yes. This actually makes me think about a program, and maybe this is a bit me being a bit of a perfectionist. Because I know that what I do with my students and clients is I teach them how to get in touch with their intuition and trust it and evolve it and grow that, like exercise that as a muscle, right? So I have huge certainty in that, but I will play and second guess and change things on a program that I'm launching.
Yeah.
So now, because I've been involved with this other friend on this beta testing, it's kind of like it's helping me just say it's gonna go. I'm going to roll it out within the next month or so, and just say I can tweak it and change it, because that in itself could maybe stop the chronic perfectionism. Is to just say it's not set in concrete, as you often
So
say,
that's,
right?
that's
I
not so
can change
concrete
it.
again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything's movable.
yeah,
You move with the times.
yeah. If somebody
You
asked
have
me,
to. You have to move with the times. I'm
yeah,
going to
you do
say
have
you
to.
have to. End
Yep.
of.
Yep.
Not you either move or you don't. If you don't,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you and I've worked in this area before too, is that somebody asks me a question of, oh, how do you teach? How do you do that? I'm quite happy to put together a workshop or a presentation or a handout or a video or something to teach a specific piece. So knowing that is when you have certainty in what it is your calling is, what is your mission, what's your passion,
Yeah.
then just roll it out and know that not everything's going to be the slam dunk. It's
Well, I
okay.
remember you. I remember you coming in, and I asked you to come and present to my group
Yeah.
and do something. And then at the end of it, you're like, "Oh, I'm just going to tweak a couple of things." And there's a public
Yeah.
course
It's
now.
something that I can go again. Yeah.
And I think not being attached. That's it. Not being attached to the outcome, but still being attached to the outcome. Not being solidly
Rigid.
attached to.
Yeah.
Yeah, rigid. Yeah, this is the way. I'm holding
Mhm.
on because my knuckles are going white. Actually, you don't have to hold on. You just go, okay. Well, yeah, because I remember you just saying, oh, I'm just going to tweak a couple of things, and there's a course I've got online that I can do, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, good job, great, yay! All my people in my class, they loved it, and now I know the gift you're going to get, and if you're going to tweak it to the public, but it's
Mhm.
just how you spoke differently. But yeah, I love that. It's just being not rigid. Yeah,
Yeah.
watch your rigidity.
And then you actually said fail earlier. So
Oh
so
yeah.
sometimes things will fail. But if you
Mm,
can remember, and I've said this to our listeners before, think of the word fail, F-A-I-L, as first attempt in learning. And
yeah.
sometimes we need to just go through that. It's like, okay, I'm going to learn something from this
Yeah.
launch or this project or right.
Well, I remember somebody saying that when you're reframing your mistakes as momentum, and when I think about that, you're seeing it as data, not disaster. Just getting the data here, it's not disaster. But what did I get from this? What did I learn that I could change and pivot?
Yeah,
And that's that momentum we're talking about.
I like
It's,
that. So momentum, what did you say? Momentum is carried by,
oh,
you
I don't
said
know what.
something and I thought, oh, that was good, but then I missed it.
Um,
But what is the data is for sure.
reframe your mistakes as momentum.
Right.
It's a phew, crikey.
Did it.
I said yeah, reframe that. But your mistakes as data, not disaster.
Mm.
And that's it. When you see it as data, you're just like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, right.
It's a wee bit about not taking it personally too, right?
Yes. Yeah, we
Because it's
go back
just
to
like, oh, look
agreement.
at that. That just showed me. Okay,
Yeah.
good. What
Yeah.
what can I do next? I'm just gonna do my best with this.
Mm. Now I've got to write all that down so I can remember when
I know I kind of we'll figure it
yeah, we'll wing it. We'll wing it
out.
verbatim. When you said, what did you say? I'm like, hang on, I got to go back a minute in my memory bank. Yeah.
I just thought of something that a client of mine many years ago, she used to say this, and I thought this is actually quite relevant for techniques for the chronic perfectionist. Because sometimes we can second guess ourselves and get so caught in lost in the weeds of the rumination of like, oh, I
Mm.
gotta tweak this and I gotta tweak this. So this client of mine, she used to say, what would somebody say about this in 100 years?
Oh, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, and I'm like,
It's important.
they
Yeah.
actually wouldn't say a word. So fine, I might as well just put it out there now.
Yeah. Just,
Because it
yeah, do
won't matter. It won't matter. So sometimes that chronic perfectionism is draining our energy, it's exhausting us, it's got us caught in rumination mode. And does it really matter? Not really. It's zapping your energy.
I think when that perfectionism, I know when I did my first website back in, I mean, 19 years ago, I had to write my first website, and I'd started the business, and we're like 4 months on, and the people are like, "Can you just write some words? Can you?" I was like, "No, I don't like that word. I want to reword this.
Oh,
I want to reword this. I want to do this." And I don't like the green you had. I want just a slighter change of green in this. And the guy goes, we're launching in 48 hours. I'm overriding all
Ooh,
your decisions. He
ooh,
did because I,
good for
I,
him.
yeah, he said I'm launching in 48 hours. So if you want, you've got a 48-hour time frame, and it's done. And then we can edit it if need be because the website hadn't gone live. And it was really funny. And I remember when I launched, I had 3 inquiries within 24 hours
Oh gosh.
randomly. And I was like, and so when we go back, you get rewarded. It goes back to that. I got rewarded. I
Yeah,
put it out and
yeah.
it still wasn't perfect. And then I didn't rewrite my website for 6 years. I didn't rewrite it. I went, I don't need to do it. It's done. This will do. This will be fine. When they talk to me, they're going to meet me. My website's just a pretty little picture and colors,
Mm.
that were this way. But that's exactly it. It's just like, yeah, he put a time frame on and I was like, okay, I hear you. I could feel it. But when we're waiting for that perfectionism, it can just drain our soul, you know.
Yeah, but you know the other thing about
Looking at
perfectionism
everything that's wrong, pardon. We're looking at everything that's wrong, not what's actually right.
is very true because that's what I was going to say is that perfectionism is like to what standard? To whose standard? Right? So like in your example about the tweaking the colors and shifting this and this and it's like it says who,
Yeah,
right? Who are you
yeah.
trying to like yeah.
I like that. I remember we were arguing over a shade of, might have been a shade of orange. I remember because I don't know why I said green. I want to rebrand. Look, I said a year and a half ago I was going to rebrand my colors from
Yes,
red
you did. You
to
did.
green.
I
To green.
remember. I
Well,
remember
guess
that.
what? It's on the list. How's that for a perfectionist? Yep. Have I rebranded? No, it's in the list. It's something I'd like to do, but it's clearly there's a gazillion other things that are more important than
Right.
that.
Right.
Than,
Just
and I
keeping
know
it,
ours.
just keeping it real, just so long as there's glitter. It's funny because every so often I contemplate a rebrand, but then it's like, yeah, I'm not letting go of the purple.
Oh, you go no,
Nope. Nope.
no.
Not letting go of the purple. So it's like, yep, I'm good. I've done a
Well,
few
I'm
tweaks
really,
over the last year. I
yeah,
actually quite like the few tweaks that has happened over the last year.
yeah, they're beautiful. They're
Mhm.
beautiful. But you're not attached to yeah, I think about your client. What's it going to be like in 100 years? Are people really going to worry about that shade of purple?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I don't like that. She doesn't. I did have somebody said I'm not coming to you because you got to read your businesses around red, and I'm like, okay, okay.
Oh, that's
Like,
funny because that's a psychological piece that I remember knowing a cop in England that cops in England, I don't know if they are here or if they are in New Zealand, they are educated in what psychological reactions we have to certain colors. And
oh,
and so this
red and
cop
blue
said
triggers
red is
me.
anger. Red is anger.
Oh, yeah, of course. So many people have told me that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So that just made me think of that when you said that about the client. I was like, I'm not coming to that because that'll just make me mad.
Yeah, she was. She was adamant. And by the way, it took her about 8 years, and she tried everyone else, and she came back and she went, "Okay, I've tried nearly everyone I know. I'm ready now." I was like, "Oh, are you okay if I send you?" I was definitely a bit of a.
You're listening to Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, here to help listeners unlock their full potential so they can thrive, not just survive. They've shared some very powerful insights so far, so it's time to take a moment to breathe, reflect, and jot down any key takeaways. What's one piece of advice that stands out to apply right away? Before wrapping up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from everyone. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how listeners are putting these insights into practice. Let's dive back in and finish strong.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a poke. Are
I,
you all right if I
I,
send you my things? Yeah, yeah, BH is what I was going to say. I'm like, don't say it. Yeah.
I
Are
was
you
gonna
okay?
say diva. I was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah,
diva.
diva. You're definitely a diva. Are you okay if I send you things and it has the red logo on it? I said, "You okay with that?" And she's like, "Yes, yes, yes." But it's really interesting how we can trigger some people. Look, I
Yeah.
mean, if I'd taken that on board, and if she was, I could have just changed my whole branding. Like I wasn't clearly going to, and she's not the reason I'm changing my branding, by the way, people. It clearly hasn't happened, or it would have been done if it was really, really important.
No,
But I think,
gosh, if you're going to be a chronic perfectionist, it would be changed a couple of times by now.
oh my gosh, if I was a chronic perfectionist, I mean, I saw the other day there's a spelling error on my website, and I went, oh, I must send that message to my assistant, and I still haven't. I still haven't.
That's funny.
Man, I
That's
think I need
funny.
to say,
Whoops.
can you, I'm gonna just send her a message, say, can you go through my website and just, have
Do
a
a
look
spell
and
check. Do a spell check
yeah.
through my website.
Okay, yeah, that's the one. Oops, 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 oops. Yeah, I think that's a reminder.
So, so there is reasons why we want things to have a certain polish or a certain
Mm,
standard. But
yeah.
but perfectionism, that's what I said earlier about to whose standard are you
Mm,
you ranking or rating yourself. So this is actually to just contemplate that. And maybe if you're delaying the launch of something, you
mm,
could maybe ask a trusted colleague or a trusted friend to just have a look at this.
mm.
Let me know, because if you're getting too stuck in you know how sometimes we miss seeing something because we're so stuck, we're so immersed in it. So hand it
Yeah,
off to somebody, and then you might find that's good to go. Let's launch.
I I actually really love that because recently I had a client of mine and he's starting to do some videos for his business, and he said, Deb, can you watch these videos? And I said,
Hmm,
yep. And he said, can I watch them now while you're on Zoom? And I was like, oh no, he's going to see my filtered face. Am I going to have to filter my face and watch? And I really liked it, and I picked up a couple of things, and he said, oh, thanks very much. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to ask my partner because she was home, and I said, can you come and watch these videos and give me some feedback because she thinks differently to me.
right. Yeah.
So I know him. I know how he present. Like I know him. And so when she gave some feedback, she came in and she actually watched it in the other room, and then she came in and she rattled off these 5 or 6 things that I did not even pick up, and I was like, wow, I must have been so infatuated that he finally did these videos that I missed
Right.
these 5 or something points that she gave were so vital. She said, your shoulder, you seem, one of them was like, you seem slumped when you talked if your shoulders are back. And then I looked and I'm like, oh my God, she picked that up. I didn't pick that up. And that's usually the stuff that I pick up.
Right.
She picked it up differently because I obviously was just excited and inspired that he was actually doing these
So
videos.
you were rating him based
I'd
on,
already,
yeah.
I'd already rated him on my perception.
Hmm.
But she came and she gave some solid feedback. He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and I think I think his words were, "You're fired now for feedback on my videos, Deborah." I was like, "Okay, okay," but she gave completely different ideas because I definitely had an attachment. I was more inspired about that he's actually done it,
Mm.
and she just brought in and I went, "Oh, I can see that." Yes, yes, but I'd glimpsed over those, so I had a bias
Hmm.
before it already started. You
No,
know.
and I think I might have told you this myself that right now I'm working on a book, and I've got a friend of mine that's helping me with it, and we bat the edits back and forth. We've got it down to a certain
Yeah.
amount of chapters and back and forth. And I got to the point of I needed another
Yeah.
view. So I sent
Yeah.
it off to my mum. And
Oh,
she picked up 4 or 5 things. I was like, oh my God, I've read that chapter umpteen times and I never saw that. So it's
yes.
exactly your point. And that's what this is about. Maybe you're delaying for reasons that aren't really even there. Um, but
Yeah.
but also having somebody go, nope, it looks great. Actually, it was very sweet. My mom was so kind. She had printed it out, and she was showing, she had certain pages like, and I have this printed out and I can keep coming back to it. It was just, it
Oh,
was
bless.
so cool. Isn't that
Well, I
awesome?
think I good job, Mum. Great job. I think that's that know your tribe and know that you want when you ask a friend to give you feedback, you want them to be truthful,
Yes.
not hurtful, but that if they're hurting, if you're hurtful, then it's
You're not to
for a
take
good
it personally, but you're
yeah.
you're getting the discernment,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, definitely. But know that they're going to give you solid feedback that lands. But also, if you're going to ask somebody, ensure that it's their thing.
Yeah.
So the book you've given your mum is something that she could relate to.
Very, very definitely.
If it's
Mhm.
something about the color of toenails, or so I look at my fingernails, that's it, or color of fingernails or nail polish or whatever, and you send it to your mum's like, why would you ask me that? What color I
No,
need?
there's a lot of the work that I do that I would never send to my mum because it's not in her wheelhouse at all. But this book that I'm doing,
It's like
I knew it would resonate with her.
absolutely. So having that valid feedback is
Yeah.
really important. And I think that reminds us, as I know I said know your tribe. Moira and I are here. We will give
Hmm.
you solid feedback. I mean, I learned a lot from what my partner said from me to go, okay, Deborah, yes, now I just forgot that I had a bias to it.
Yeah.
So when he gives me information because of what she did, I'm like, okay, don't get excited. He's finally done it.
Yeah.
Actually start reading from a point of view of, okay, let's look at this. Is he standing right? Does the sound look good? Is the lighting okay?
Yeah.
Are his words clear? Does he, so Moira and I are here. If you want to know your tribe, we are here to look at that stuff. If you're so worried, if you don't have that person to go to, we are
Yeah.
here. We can help you with that and go, have you thought about that? The amount of times I've had conversations with people who are complete randoms and I've gone, oh, I'm doing this, and they're like, have you thought about that? And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah. Yeah,
no,
absolutely. What a brilliant idea. Yeah,
no. And
exactly.
they're the golden nuggets, because sometimes we sit in our world, we
Yeah.
sit in our basket, and we go, yep, done it, done it, done it. And we get nervous about asking for feedback, but
Hmm.
ask. They're the people who, we're so attached. And what do they say when you do a workshop? You need to strip 60% or 70% of it away or something. Once you think you've finished it, strip it all away because you're giving too much. Like
Yeah.
oh, I've got to say that and I've got to add that and I've got to, the over explaining or anything.
Oh, I
So,
resemble that. I remember a program that I did a couple of years ago, and the feedback that I got from one of the participants said, learning from Moira is like drinking from a fire hose. Oh,
yeah.
whoops. So right there, I could have done well to strip it back by
Yeah.
60%.
Yeah, and it keeps coming and more and
Yeah,
more
yeah.
and more. And I think that's reminding ourselves, that perfectionist is less is more.
Yeah.
But when we're so attached to it, we
Mhm.
can don't take anything personally. Go back to
For
your four.
agreement. For
Yep.
agreement. Yep.
And if you're delivering feedback to someone, be impeccable with your word.
Yes. Yeah, most definitely.
Yep.
How does does this need to be said? So using some discernment in there too,
Mm,
reading the room,
yeah.
right? Because sometimes somebody will we you reading the room, but also being aware of hidden agendas. Because
Mm,
I'm thinking about somebody
oh,
might ask you for feedback, but they're maybe not quite ready for it. They may feel a little bit criticized or take it personally or oh
yeah.
gosh, I just wanted you to say how good I was,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Just
So
want you to blow my own trumpet. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So so just be wary of the agenda from you and from the person that maybe is asking you for feedback,
Mm,
right? It's all perfect in perfect divine order,
yeah.
right?
Look, I'm also going to ask people to go back and look, where do you think this perfectionism come from?
Mm,
Because if you can actually unpack the story, and then I'm going to say, and if you can't, Maura and I are here.
yes,
But
we are.
oh, I remember this. I remember this at my, I went and saw a speaker the other day, and I talked to him about some speaking tips, and he said most most public speakers have come from imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
They've spoken, or he actually did a beautiful example. He said he had somebody who came to him for speaking skills, and they said, "Oh, I remember I was in so many grade, I was so young, and I had to go and do a speech at the school, and I didn't know what I was talking about, so I can't talk about it. So I
right,
can't talk. So because of that, I freeze. So he can deliver one-on-one to his people. He's a CEO. He could deliver one-on-one to his people. But if he had to present to 30 or 40 people, he froze and he couldn't do it because it took him back to that imposter syndrome when he had to find those words that weren't his. His parents had helped him write his speech and everything came from that. So that's all that whole thing, to get it right, to get it right, to get it right, to please other people, etc.
Yeah.
But it wasn't him.
Right.
So then he said, well, of course you're going to freeze when you're going to talk to 50 people because you're going to go back to that memory that you've had there.
Mhm.
So, take the time to look at where this stuff's coming from, but when I say take the time, appreciate that journey of wonderment. Don't just go, oh, I don't know where it is. I can't find it. Oh, there it is there, and it's really bad, and I'm going to put that in the bad box and box it up, and now it keeps waking me up at 11 o'clock at night or whatever. Those things, but take that beautiful journey on where did this come from, and what was going on for me right now, and going, well, of course I couldn't say that speech because it was mum and dad's speech and they were words that I wouldn't use, and that makes so much sense. So it just gives you that little understanding about yourself.
I love that. And you know what I just did? Was I'm adding another tip underneath that all by itself. And it's kind of funny because we haven't talked about this one. It is gratitude.
Oh,
Like, OMG, what's wrong with Moira and Deb? We didn't talk about
what?
gratitude the last couple of episodes. No, what I was thinking of, I love what you just said about the imposter syndrome and to get really clear on where does this propensity for perfectionism come from? Excuse me.
Mm.
Because I've had quite a few client conversations that will tell me stories about, coming home from school with the report card and they've got 96% or 98%. And dad says, what happened to the 2%?
Yeah.
What's right?
Yeah, that's I am well, exactly. And these are these things. So have that beautiful wonderment of where it comes from, but just go, oh, I appreciate that experience. I
Yes,
appreciate
and have
that to me.
gratitude for, because
True appreciation.
yes, because then you can say, thank you, Dad. I know you were trying to get the best results for me, but I don't have to listen to that anymore. That's an
Yeah.
outdated, outmoded belief, and I don't have to
Yeah.
keep it on, and I don't have to make it drive me to be that have to be 100% all the time, right?
Yeah.
Always do your best.
Yeah. I think yes. Well, I was just going to tell a little story, but I'm conscious of our time. But it is always do your best, and having that gratitude. Yeah, I won't tell that story because I'm gonna end up on a whole nother journey, and we're gonna add like 10 tips on that. Um, but gratitude can shift anything. Um,
Mhm.
Gratitude can shift anything. But when your eyes are open, you can really truly see the bigger picture. But you've got to get to that gratitude place sometimes before your eyes are opened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then once you get to the gratitude space, then you realize that everything is for you. There is nothing against you,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes that's the paradigm shift. And that
Mm,
can actually help you to release this chronic perfectionism ideal is, oh, everything's for me. I've got this. Let's go.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
can shift and change as I need to shift and change.
Yeah. Oh, people. Techniques for chronic perfectionism. We trust this landed today. By
Mhm.
crikey. We're going
Mhm.
to wrap this up. Grab that note-taking device, and start writing what we're going to throw back at you as quick as we can. Um,
Well, why don't you get us started this time?
yeah, you're human.
Yeah,
You're
you're
human.
human.
You're human. I think the perfectionism is reminding yourself you're human, having a human experience in a human world with what's going on around you, and you're here to do the best with what you've got
Yep,
right now
yep.
without jumping into the next tip. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're human. You're human. That's
You are
it.
human.
You can go, well, and I think reminding yourself, I'm a coach, I should know better. Or
Mm,
I'm a parent, I should know better, or any of that. Just know that you're human. For
yep,
goodness sake.
you're
There's many
doing the
times
best.
I've had to reach out to Moira for something, and I'm a coach, and I know exactly I can get myself through my mindset, but sometimes my emotions overtake. So you know
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, likewise. We've been there for each other on multiple different things. Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. You're a human having a human experience. And that actually, the next tip was we brought in the 4 agreements, because those 4 agreements is really such a beautiful way to embody, embrace, just be that human. So
Yeah.
remembering to be impeccable with your word, remembering to not take things personally, remembering to not make generalizations or assumptions, and do your best. Perfectionism kind of says, oh, this isn't my best. Well, yeah, it is. Tell yourself the truth, right?
Well, this is when we put that clarity, certainty, and curiosity in.
Yeah. Yeah,
I like.
I think that one we're going to have to keep coming back to. I like those three
I'm
C.
funny. I've just circled that.
Yeah,
I've
me too.
circled. I think there's yeah, there's a course on its own.
Yeah.
Uh, the next one that we've written down is be realistic.
Mhm.
Be realistic with yourself. Be realistic with your time frame. Be realistic with others. Be realistic with everything. That's all I
Everything.
need to. I don't even need to put anything else in. Just be. Yeah. If you're looking at your chronic perfectionist, just be realistic.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. Which then led me into the next one that I had said was to be in flow. So be in
Mm,
flow with what's occurring and release rigidity is what I said. And so if you've set the bar, because that's what you're saying about being realistic, so you set the bar, I'm going to achieve this today, and yet then some crisis comes up or something pulls your attention or your energy's off.
yeah.
It's like, no, be fluid and flowing. We can set goals and intentions, but don't get so stuck, because that's an energy drain too, right?
Well, that's that perfectionism. That's that. Yeah.
Hmm,
The next one I had was PEMS, which
yeah.
is our physical and mental. Uh, pardon me.
Emotional.
Physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual,
Mhm.
which goes with that. Be realistic, be flexible, and tell yourself the truth. Actually, you know what? I'm not feeling. I'm not feeling up for it, so I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm just not going to do it. You talked about your one, and I talked about my story about writing my mailer.
Yeah.
Um, let's
Yeah.
write that down. Mailer. Hang on, mailer.
Oh, right. It's not on her list.
I've just written it down now. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, because it'll go out of my head. But tell yourself the truth. You know what? I don't feel like doing this today, or I'm
Yeah.
a little bit tired, or I've eaten too much, or I'm not eating enough, or
I need
then
a nap. Yeah.
yeah, because people can read your energy. If I send a mailer out and it's blah and I'm feeling blah, you'll be able to read it, people.
Yep,
I
you
want you
will.
to read it and feel it and go, yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Absolutely.
and that's it. Um, but with that, I also wrote down, I don't know where this tip was. I don't know where this tip was because I've actually got a couple here. I've got, no, I'm just going to wait for that one because you might bring that one out. I don't know where that went. Anyway, carry on. Tell the truth. Yeah, there you go. I'm
Tell the
telling the
truth.
truth. Yeah, tell
Well,
the
the
truth.
next
Yeah.
one I have after that one was when you honor yourself, you get rewarded. And that's
Yeah.
when I just said that. My example, I actually shared that story about uh the reward when I owned the fact that I'm really tired, I just need a nap. The reward was I got way more done. And it became a pattern for me when I was really sick, was gosh, I just have to let go and surrender to the fact that I can't keep pushing. And
Mm,
and then when I come back all refreshed and nurtured by my
mm,
nap, then I got so much done. So that I like that, right? When you honor yourself, you get rewarded.
yeah.
You said that. I like that.
And I'm a 10-minute nap girl. If I got 10 minutes, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna be here for a while. I might as well just take 10 minutes while I can.
Hmm.
And that's that beauty. Beauty. Well, this
Beauty.
is this beauty, Deborah making up a new word.
Another word. Yay.
I don't know where this oh, I know where it is. Right, I'm putting that one there. Good, thank you. Certainty.
Yes.
Certainty is the next one for this. Techniques for your chronic perfectionism. If you're certain about it, you don't have to doubt it.
Mhm.
But if we're not certain, it's our own wavering. Oh, I don't know if this is right, and so if you don't have that certainty, that's already you're already setting yourself up for failure.
But that's when you brought that tip up, we talked about, I gave an example of my friend who is beta testing a program that she's
Hmm.
doing. And she got so much intelligence from the first beta, she's running another one because it's kind of like, is this work? Does this flow work? Does that? And it's just such a beautiful way to do
Yeah.
it, right? So when we realize that certainty comes over time, we make progress and go, gosh, it worked out way better than I thought, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes. So, and then leading from that, the tip that I said was release rigidity. We can shift, tweak, change as required.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
and that's what I said, and I didn't write it down, but I was reflecting on something that Deb often talks about, is it's not in concrete. If I release a program, a product, a book, anything, a teaching of some sort, it's not once and done. It's kind of like, oh, well, that's version 1. I can get to version 3.0.
I know. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Deborah with her website building. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
The next one is fail. And fail is where I said about reframing your mistakes as momentum
Yeah.
and seeing your mistakes as data, not disasters. That's when Moira said, what did you say? And I was like, hang on, I had to pull that, so I had to write that one down. But this is where I talked a little bit about our PEMS also with this is if you're feeling you're going to fail right from the start, if you feel, oh, I'm not going to get enough time and I'm going to fail right from the start, sometimes we set ourselves up for that. I don't even like using the word failure really. But I'm going to say the word failure. But if you feel like, oh, I'm not going to get this done by this time, you're already setting yourself up for
not
you're not
getting
going
it
to get
done.
it done.
Yeah.
So be aware of that. But if you can know that that is data, not disaster. Like, okay, well, what did work out of here? This worked. This did. That was that beautiful beta testing that you talked about. That yeah.
No, that's actually a really, really good one to remember. From that, the tip was, it was a client of mine that I said that she used to say, will it matter in 100 years?
Yes.
Right? So perfectionism thing, oh, this isn't good enough, it's not good enough, it's not good enough. Will it really matter in 100 years?
Well, people say that, will it matter in 5 years? Even that, like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was where I was talking about my website colors.
Yeah, even just next year. Will it matter next year? Next week?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's actually it. I think that helps us get into a more of an expanded viewpoint, because sometimes when we're being perfectionists, we got the blinkers on and we're kind of going, no, this is the result, as opposed to being more expansive. That's what that feels like, don't you think?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one I have written down here is know your tribe. And that came from that because we talked about knowing your tribe, and that's where you asked your mum to read your book.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because she was your tribe. So ask, but ensure that it's, if you ask mum about, mum, this is a car mechanics, I don't know how this works, can you help me? Mum may not know.
I don't think so. No.
So ensure that you're not going to ask someone about car mechanics unless they know about it. But Moira and I are here. This is what we do. We can analyze what you've got and just go, you know what, just tweak these couple of things and it's good to go. Let's get it going. But ensure when you do ask people that they are actually your people.
Yeah.
They're not those ones who go, and then going to go tell everyone, you wouldn't believe what Moira's doing now. But Moira's writing a book. Who gives her the right to write a book? But that stuff, no.
Yeah. No. That's your tribe, not my tribe.
That's another podcast. Yeah, that's the
Yep.
one. But we are here for you.
Yes, we are. The next one I have, and this was a tip from you, I really liked this one, is where does perfectionism come from? And that's when you were talking about like checking in. Where does it come from? You gave an example of this imposter syndrome, and I gave the example of the going home with the report card, and
Hmm.
Dad doesn't congratulate you on the 96 or 98%. He wants to know
Yeah.
where's the 2% or 4%.
Yeah,
That creates perfectionism. And so just knowing where that comes from and then release it, right?
yeah.
It's not, you don't have to carry it forward anymore.
The key part to that is when have that wonderment from that, but also know when to release it. Just go, okay, well that's I was 10, for goodness
Yeah.
sake, really, or going back to that, but also if it feels a little bit discombobulated, Moira and I are here again.
Mhm.
We are here, and we can definitely help you with that, because Moira said release it. This is our jam.
This is our jam, and we have some really good techniques and strategies to release permanently, once and for good,
Yeah.
those things that trip you up or keep you stuck or playing
Yeah.
small. Yeah.
And then the tip I have here is gratitude.
Gratitude.
We're going for gratitude for all of this, gratitude for this perfection, gratitude for this data you've collected, gratitude for this honoring yourself, gratitude for realizing you took on something that didn't inspire you, just gratitude for everything that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. I love it.
Teabag?
Excellent. Oh, look at you, right? You're right on it this time.
Last week I forgot.
Yes, you did. But this one's really lovely. They all are.
I
What can
know.
I say? I have my whole dish here that I pick them
Oh my
out.
gosh, you do too.
Yes.
Wow, I just saw the dish. I love
Yes.
that.
Isn't it beautiful? So the one that's come out is travel in grace, knowing that you are protected by love.
Oh,
That's such a nice, nurturing way to release any kind of perfectionism, is just travel in grace, knowing that you're protected by love.
oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't it? Now you know why this bowl sits on my desk, eh?
I totally, yeah. I love it. I love
Me
it. I
too.
love it. Thank you, listeners, for joining us today. Thank you for listening. I would love you to, from what you've learned today, from what you've got, just take a moment and ask yourself, are you here playing the most you can with what you've got? Or are you feeling stagnant with this perfectionism? Is this actually really holding you back? And is it really starting to affect you? Because if it is, use just one of these techniques every day. Just don't think about doing one every single day. Don't think about doing a different one every day. Just start with one. The 4 agreements today. Start with the 4 agreements. Tomorrow, continue with the 4 agreements. The day after, continue with the 4 agreements. Because this is what's going to give you this momentum. And it's going to remember yourself to honor yourself for who you are and what you're here to do. Yeah. So share. Let us know, what is that, if you liked it today. Let us know what's your favorite tip you're going to do, and what's this technique you're going to take this week, because we value seeing your feedback. We get private messages, we get these, and we enjoy seeing them. So please do let us know. Let us know.
Absolutely.
But that's us signing off for our techniques for chronic perfectionism. That's our deliciously motivated mindset podcast / conversation / convo / whatever you want to slash it as.
Chin wags.
Yeah, chin wag. Yeah. Chin wag, yeah. That's us signing off. Thank you for listening today, listeners. We appreciate you, and you'll hear us again on our next one. And if you can't wait till the next one, pick a number and go back and look at our 270 something episodes we've already done.
Absolutely.
Just a random one. Thank you more for your wisdom today. Thank you for your input. That always helps when we do a buddy up.
Absolutely.
And thank you to the bigger world out there that's got us here to record this podcast for you.
I love it. Thank you, dear listeners. Thank you, dear Deb. This has been a good conversation. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Thank you for tuning into Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, where the mission is to help listeners unlock their full potential and thrive, not just survive. As the episode comes to a close, they trust you've gained some powerful insights. If you haven't already, take a moment to reflect on one key takeaway that you'll apply right away. Before we wrap things up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from you. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how you're putting your insights into action. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep thriving.